see this work. All right, so I got bored, and so I'm going to do something for the Kibby. She has a cat cabinet, and I'm going to attempt to assemble it, because I don't know what else to really do right now. There's a chance it'll be entertaining if I struggle with it, which I probably will. Although, not to brag or anything, but I did assemble a couple things fairly recently. I assembled an entertainment center, my desk, and I think that's about it. But I feel a little less dumb after doing that. So, we're gonna see how this goes. First, we gotta get the box in here. Got the big box. Honestly, this box looks bigger than the entertainment system one, so I am anticipating this to be a little bit trickier. But again, I have no idea. Yeah, this is more casual than the cooking stream I just did. I'm feeling energized off of that delicious bacon grilled cheese. What am I doing in the meantime? No. I totally forgot my box cutter. It was in my car. But see how far down I can angle this without it falling off. Not very. Okay. All right. Put it in the corner, maybe? This might be the move. So, I mean, the cat... This is also better, because I was going to say the cat couldn't knock it over, but I don't want to speak too soon on that. Seems rather reckless. She is right below the camera, trying to fish something out from under the couch. Yeah, I'm stalling a little bit, because I know this is going to be a process. Here's the thing. There's a lot of really good, like relatively cheap stuff on Amazon that like looks good when it's assembled. However, I've noticed a consistent trend that the instructions on a lot of the Amazon stuff are either not accurate or they don't make sense. When we got the entertainment system in, it was like missing a couple different parts, which didn't end up being as much of an issue as I was worried it was going to be, but still. Alright, what's keeping this closed? More tape. I miss my box cutter. Woo. There's so much tape. There we go. First step completed. How do I want to do this? There are multiple different ways to go about this. I could just dump it all out, but I'm like more inclined to just roll this back. It's a little bit tougher back here. Might actually be enough. All right, that is not a terribly thick assembly manual. Okay, these instructions look exactly the same as the ones on the Entertainment Center, which is in theory should be a good thing. That is a lot of parts. That is a lot of parts right there. A little scared. All right, let's see what we're working with here. I like the vibe of this. Like, the way it looks. I don't know if this is real wood. Yeah, it's wood. Okay. So I'm going to try to do this a little bit smarter than I did before. Because in the past, when I've done this, I've had a hard time, like, organizing, like, the pieces. These are the same thing from what I can tell. C and B. K. C. That's K. This one doesn't have, unless this is two separate pieces. Okay, this folds out, and it's labeled as L. I'm trying to kind of like organize these by the letters of the alphabet, like K, L, B, and C. Because the worst part is when you don't organize stuff well, and then you can't like find the pieces you need. Okay, this is G. I keep thinking there's cracks, but there's not. It's just the way the like the wood stain is. If you're wondering what that is, that's the cat playing with the foam. She's gonna be devastated when I throw all this trash away. H, G and H together. I'm kind of separating these by one. E. Okay, there's an F there, so we're gonna separate this by E, F, G. Why is that so stuck in there? Oh, it's just kind of heavy. E, F, G. E, C, E, F, G. E, F, G, H. So, I think I see A under here. A, B, C, put that together. I'll put D with these ones too. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. M, this is just cardboard. Interesting. Separately. It doesn't appear that there's too many pieces. So far, this seems way more organized than these normally are. Although this, from what I can tell, doesn't have a sticker. Okay, this is J. These are both J, I believe. I think they're the exact same part. Alright. No, that's I. So then this would have to be J. This would have to be J. It's got A through D here. Should be. I'm gonna try to get rid of a lot of this now, because it's just gonna be a problem. Definitely an aroma to this box in particular. Every little bit of trash, the cat, I can actually see the cat in the background there, yeah. I think that's everything. All right. So what does this here manual want us to do first? Board identification, not actual size. Yeah, I kind of figured. Cannot, it's not really. Is that step one? Oh man. Oh sweet, these are all like packaged separately. That is so much better. A lot of the time with this type of stuff, everything is in like a wrap, like a single wrap that's like separated. This does not appear to be like that, which I appreciate a lot. All right, so you need. Oh, it's even separated by number. Okay, this might not be too grueling. However, in order for it to not be grueling, I need to be able to find the part. There it is. Oh, it's a Ziploc. Yes. Okay, so I need 2 of those. Need two number 2s. This one doesn't have. Two 2s. Almost here. Try to separate these by number, but apparently not all of them are labeled. So I have to go by looks for some of it. I would imagine 3 are the wood things, yeah. Some of these are kind of tough to open. Four of the 5 screw. Sorry, this is probably not a great angle. I'll try to shift it in a second. actually, I misread that. So you need 6 of the wood things. I've had not the best luck with these little wood pieces. They seem to like to, you try to push them in and there's like resistance, and then when they finally go in, like too much of it goes in, and it's like, then you don't want to try pulling it out because then it'll break. And then 2 of the number 6. Which I can't tell if that says 6 or 9. Okay, this is... So the whole thing here. I believe that this is one of the magnet doohickeys. I've seen these before. Yeah. I didn't think these are supposed to be locked in like this. Those are some strong magnets. Damn. Alright. Okay. So with that, I think we've got all the pieces for step 1. So use this towel for some protection. Alright, so we need to start out with D. And since I organized all the pieces, I don't have to go searching for it. I tend to take a while to do these because I like to do it the exact way it's oriented, because it's very easy to screw this type of thing up. Even down to the way that it's angled. Like, but buddy, let's not play with that. Alright, so... Oh yeah, I'm gonna need like a screwdriver and shit, aren't I? Okay. Alright, I'm already seeing a potential problem. So a very common issue with a lot of this stuff that you have to assemble yourself is that the screws, like these, like the wood locking things, they don't make the holes quite big enough. Like this, if you were just using a screwdriver, would absolutely not screw in. So I need to go find the power drill, actually. mix up the... That's too much. Locked in there. Let's hope this actually fits the hole. Very nice. It fits. That's the thing. With so many of these like assembly things, you have to have a power drill. Like there's no way. The holes are like just barely too small to use a screwdriver. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right. Now, as for the metal part, I guess, yeah, that'll go on the side eventually. So this will be like this with the holes facing outward. I do not appreciate them not including a little screwdriver, because for some things that is easier, and I honestly don't know where the screwdriver is. No, that made it a little crooked. One thing I've learned from these like assembly things is you really do need to get shit even. Let me get enough. To go in there. I think the plastic's blocking it slightly. Come on. You got this. Take my hoodie off, it's kind of hot. Alright, those two pieces on. I gotta put the Gibby. Halfway through. Don't go this way. Don't go this way. Right, I think that's the entirety of this panel. Then E, all E needs is pegs on both sides, so it'll run over and find E and do that. This should be F. Where's E? Unless I misread that. No, there is an E. That's A. Cat, we need to not go in the box. I don't see an E. Every time I have ever messed with stuff like this has been a thing. It looks, based on the picture, it looks like just a solid. It is always possible that something's mislabeled. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. For some reason, I thought it was a much bigger piece than it was. Okay, I thought I was missing a part for a second. No, it's just that. This is saying, I think that's just. Oh, that's just like the number of the thing. Never mind. I misread it. Okay, so then the E will go with the holes facing. Holes facing this way, but like this. Yes. Alright. And then it's just one of these doohickeys, which are thankfully pretty easy to get on. You just gotta make sure you place it the right way. It's kind of hard from this angle. Come on, you got it. There we go, there's one. And two. I am a little sad that they don't include like a little screwdriver or anything like that. Unless they did and I just didn't see it, because you do need like a pretty big screwdriver for these locking things. remember this little one is mine. So I don't get a little gibbly. Save these for, well, actually, I might as well just put them now. Okay, so this is one of the first big parts of it. So now, H, all that needs, yeah, you scared me. I'm supposed to orient this way. All right, we already got through the first page, like first 2 pages of this. It's good. We're actually making pretty decent damage. Two of these. Two of these. 5. Hey, stop it. She is tugging on the paper, well, on the towel from the other side. Son of a bitch. Well, I guess this is yours, so. So you scratch it, that would be kind of sad. So I want this to look nice. Get all the pieces out we need from this. G. I think that says G and F. I have G and F, but I do not have GF. Tragic. Holy shit, I've already been going for 35 minutes. Well, I guess a lot of this time has been like trying to find the tools, because that was one part that just completely escaped my mind. Hey, you need to stop. You're gonna like knock it. Okay, actually that was pretty graceful. Ugh. It's an especially rough hole. The worst thing about these little things is when I was doing the entertainment like the entertainment center, I swear the amount of these pegs there was atrocious. There were like at least 15 on like the tabletop part. Oh man, because like they're never gonna be completely straight. This will connect into F. I guess I'm just gonna be kind of moving stuff around back and forth. Just how it goes. It's just the way it is. Alright, that there. Grab F. The way this is supposed to be oriented is the other way. Never know how much to tighten these things because you know it's like pretty cheap wood. You don't want to crack it. Basically do it until I hear like, and you probably know it's fine. All these are cut like slightly differently, but it's and I was already going through an entire other page. This is the most forgiving assembly thing I have ever done already. Okay. So this has to... So this will be oriented like this. And that will connect into the back. Yeah. Hey, don't lose that, please. Sincerely hope it's going to make me use an actual screw soon, because it's making me use a lot of... Okay. 4 will go in those 2. So you know they're good instructions, because as soon as I said that, it was like, do this now. I'm like, oh, cool. Let's take a little more. We're looking pretty sharp right now. Like, these parts are now, as far as I can tell, completely connected to each other. I don't love that H is only being held in by pegs right now, but I'm sure that will be figured out quickly. Oh God. All right, the next step has a lot of stuff. I guesstimated just the right amount. Can we get a 2 for 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my God, we're on a roll right now. I've just been guessing the exact right amount of everything. 1, 2. We're already on step 6. We're almost, I mean, we're on page 12 of 17 right now. Pretty crazy. I've never assembled something this quickly, but I also don't know if I've ever been sober when I've done this, so that might be part of it. I'm off the Celsius and grilled cheese right now. I'm feeling fantastic, albeit a little sweaty. Something I have noticed since like getting all the weird health shit is that like I sweat so easily, even if I'm not doing anything. Like I'm like borderline drenched right now, but it is absolutely not warm. I was like a little shivery like before I started this. Anyway, yeah, this new method of doing things is definitely a lot easier. B, and the way that this has it oriented, the picture is like this. Okay, so power drill time. Just a bunch of times. Make sure I don't accidentally drill a hole that's not supposed to be power drilled. Okay, that one, okay. Right, that's B, and then the same thing on C. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Although, okay, no, I was right. Oop. Don't roll away from me, fucker. think I did miss a part because it wants pegs on the outside of both of these. These instructions are fantastic. Like, I'm very pleased with these instructions because everything's fitting the way it's supposed to so far. Again, in my experience, is not normal. These pegs are a little bit loose, so I'm not sure how much they're gonna do in the end, but holy shit, honestly, we're almost about done with the main structure of this. That's wild. Okay. So C will go on that side, and B will go on that side. Alright. See if there's like a better way I can orient this so it's like visible in the shot. Okay. Ooh. Celsius break. I'll be right back. Who eats drugs when you could, like, borderline make your heart explode off of energy drinks? No. BPD acid attack, who the fuck? Forgot I left my TV on last night and I've not been in my room all day. And I just heard the YouTuber Goblin say BPD ass detective. I don't even know what that means, but it's Goblin. I don't know if there's much use in trying to figure it out. BPD ass detective is just might be my new favorite term. You BPD ass detective. This cat low-key has BPD. I'm kind of convinced. Ugh. It's a little scared moving that. You BPD ass cat. So C. C will be on this side. This is why I always like to follow the exact orientation of the book, because then I start like tripping up. I think the way my brain works is like, if I'm being shown how to do something, you gotta show me the exact fucking way, because I take things very literal. All right. This part might be a little bit tricky. Yeah, I think the towel's making it a little difficult. This is what I mean by like the pegs are kind of annoying to work with, because like I said, they can never be completely straight, and it can be quite tough getting them in. But even, yeah, oh yeah, especially when type shit. Type fucking shit, dude. Okay. Appears that we're looking pretty solid. When you get to parts like this, you gotta really make sure you've got no gap, otherwise it'll show. Okay, and I'm gonna take a wild guess and say we're using these. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a both sides thing. I'm very pleased with this brand, dude. Like, this is, I shit you not, like, every time that we, like, since moving in the apartment, we've assembled a lot of stuff like this. This has been, by far, so far, nothing has happened during this that has frustrated me. Which is, you gotta give kudos to that. Even though the build quality is not fantastic, definitely props for making it so easy. The thing is, this is how assembling everything should be. Like, it should never be all that difficult. Because in terms of, like, assembly stuff, like, mostly everything's kind of the same. It all comes down to the instructions. This one, that one. Yeah, all right. That feels pretty solid. So I'm gonna flip this around to the other side. As far as I can tell, there's not a whole lot more that I have to drill into this thing. We've got the majority of it. Good, so the people below me won't be upset. Technically got 5 minutes until quiet hours, but they'll be fine if I go over like 20 minutes, they'll live. So the people below me, I've heard them like throwing raves at like 2 in the morning. It's just loud. Okay, what's the best way to move this without breaking it? Like I said, while I've been giving a lot of compliments, build quality of like the actual wood is not fantastic. Okay. As far as I can tell, it's basically the same idea. Because once I get this part on, I'm pretty sure I can like put this right side up. Because basically, I haven't even said what this is yet. This is like a litter box cabinet. Yeah. The only thing I have to deduct points for is that one little screw stripped the wood and couldn't go all the way in. So hopefully this will fit correctly. Because I can even tell by looking at it, it's not completely straight. This has crash out potential for sure. Yeah, honestly, a lot of the screw holes on this part are not very straight. But we still got it. Still got it. Honestly, I think the cheaper wood quality is part of why this is so much easier than it normally is. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that with some of the sturdier wood, like the entertainment system, that was like, a lot of the screws were not going in completely straight, but there was no give on the wood. No, not on the laptop. You're so dramatic. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're so abused. Figure out how this is running. Okay. part of the instruction says the K-hole. I'm like, I'd like to go in one of those. I say as I'm like, I'm sober now. Like, listen, I can still have dreams. I can still have dreams. There's so many. Okay. Oh, I already put that one in. What the fuck? Okay. I didn't complain. Shit. Actually, no. These ones were holding in the. Never mind. Thought I like missed a part. Look. Surprised you can see me at all, to be honest. Okay, I think the main base of this is done, from what I can tell. Cool. All right. Hell yeah, dude. I'm actually really proud of how smoothly this has gone so far. Very proud of myself. I can't tell which factor had the most to do with that. If it was the having gotten more experience doing this, whether it was that, whether it was being sober, whether it was, what's the third one I was thinking of? Like just good building, like just a better, just easier to put together because the holes are right. Yeah, I think it's a combination of all three. Because in the past, when I would do this like piss drunk, I wouldn't organize any of the pieces, so I would like lose them, not be able to find them, and that would cause a lot of crash out. But the thing is, when you have all your parts out as you need them, organized, no shit, it's a lot easier to do it. All right, take another Celsius break. This is a huge milestone in the assembly. In terms of like physical wood parts, there's only one like major big part left. Aside from that, it's like a couple wood panels, and yeah, then it's basically done. This was easy as fuck. hope y'all can hear the meowing. She's a very, very talkative kitty. Tomorrow, a dog's gonna be over, so maybe you can hide in here if you get scared. I gotta see how this is supposed to be oriented. So right now I cannot particularly tell by looking at it. Yeah, this is yours. Okay, I'm really scared to flip this over. Oh, it's light though. Okay. Super dangerous part. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is a little flimsy. Like I said, part of the reason is that this was so much easier was because the wood would fray when I needed it to, which is like which is convenient when you're building it, but not so convenient for durability. That is adorable, dude. Look, look at that. She's already claimed it. It's like, yeah, this is yours. Yes, it's yours. Yes, it's yours. Yes, it's yours. Yes, it's yours. Oh. You smell like scallops. Your breath smells of scallops. Grody. It's probably not much dirtier than the warehouse wood, though, to be fair. Okay, so the A part appears to be exactly the same on all sides, but I do have to drill a few parts, but I'm probably going to do that on the bean bag. So you may not see that, so I have to watch the cat. Okay, watch the cat for me. Make sure she doesn't get into anything. That little nip actually kind of hurt. Make sure there's only 4 places this could go into, so. Alright, got 1. Okay, this is making a lot more sense. I'm seeing the vision. Prop my camera up a little bit. Just a little bit. So you can still see the cat and also what I'm doing. Yeah, these screws also didn't go in terribly evenly, but it's all good. It is all good. I just need to verify that these are the same on both sides. Okay, they're not, because there is a hole on one of the sides. So I need to figure out how this is exactly oriented. Because this is showing like 5 holes facing this way. So let me check the other side of it. This side doesn't have any holes. Okay, so the holes are facing that way, so it would go on like this. I love this, dude. This has been I'm over the moon about how much easier this is. And also, like I've been saying, like I haven't been able to do a whole lot. I've been mostly sleeping, and like actually doing something physical feels so nice. Even though I'm like sweating my ass off. Like I'm very grateful that I'm able to do this right now. Did I accidentally walk over with one? I think I did. That went in perfect. Yeah, that looks sealed. Good stuff. Cool. Awesome. Not too sure what goes on the sides because it looks like there's holes for something. Not too sure. So we need 4 of whatever this is. So these are supposed to cover I'm pretty sure these are supposed to cover these. Yeah. Alright, it's just more of an aesthetic thing so you can't see the screws. I personally don't care about being able to see them because I don't know anyone who's short enough to be able to see this, but see if we can't line up the grain. That would be cool. Alright. It doesn't make it look better necessarily, but it makes it look a little more professional. Cool. Well, they thought of it. You know, at least they thought of it. They could have not thought of it, you know? But they thought of it, so. Cool. I think we're done with this page. The only thing that freaks me out is we haven't broken into these, and there's a ton of screws. I have no idea what this is for. Okay, so how many pages are left? So we're on 7. Okay, the last 2 pages are blank. So this is supposed to screw into the wall. And I'm not going to do that. That's what all these screws are for. I don't really see a point in screwing this in. I understand why you'd want to in case the cat like moved it. But I don't really think that's going to be much of a concern. So I'm not even going to bother on that front. Oh, holy shit. Well, that's where all the screws went. And there, the back panels. Damn, well, I mean, those are the only parts left from what I can tell. Oh, the door. No shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Would the door not be on this side, though? Wouldn't it? Would it not be? I want to see how this looks. Yeah, the door has to be on this side. Yeah. Right, assuming the doors are the exact same height, which I think they are. Yeah. This is where the orientation stuff can get a little bit confusing, because yeah, the back panels have to be on the other side. Okay, so there's, okay, another maybe minor complaint is this is a little hard to maneuver. Okay. It's not really, but it is light though. You gotta appreciate that. Okay, so it's one part at a time. So K goes on the top. How it does, I don't really know. I really hope this didn't make me put this top part on backwards, because it's kind of looking like it did. But based on the picture, to be fair, I did follow the picture exactly how it's said to. Because it's said to have the holes facing outward like that. So I know I followed it the exact way. Oh no, I did do it right. Never mind, I shouldn't have doubted myself like that. Should never doubt yourself. So I have to flip it back around. Like I said, I am thoroughly, like I said a million fucking times, I'm so happy this was easy to do. This would have been a much different stream if it was not easy. Okay, so K. I'd be really careful with this part in terms of like, so I should probably not power drill this bit. And I think the cat did make me lose my Phillips head, unless it's under this. Yeah, shit. I guess I could just take the Phillips head that's out of the... Yeah, I'm just gonna take it out of the power drill. So I think if you try to use a power drill on this flimsy bit, it would probably crack, so we're not gonna do that. Out. Where did I put the screwdriver? There. I could see this being slightly aggravating, but I'm gonna I'm gonna do this in a way where it should be. Many times where things have the potential to be aggravating, it's all about strategy. Like, you can tell this came from a China warehouse because I'm feeling it in my lungs. Right. 10 of these. I've been doing pretty good at eyeballing today, and I got exactly 10 again. That is crazy. I just dumped them in my hand. I'm like, oh wow, I actually counted. I actually counted 9. Well, up until this point, I've counted 10. Come on, get back in. Now, would this have been easier to mostly do on the couch? Probably. But, whatever. I'm gonna do this, I think. Is do the corners, like that corner and that corner. This might actually warrant power drilling. So the holes aren't gonna wanna. It won't be as tedious once they're actually in, but I think it's going in. This is a very awkward angle to be doing this at. Is it going in? No, it's not. Okay, we have to power drill it. Shit. Alright. Yeah, man. You're gonna have to take points off for it not including tools, and also the fact that you absolutely would need a power drill for this. No way around it. Which I'm not a huge fan of, personally, because that does make this a bit tricky, because you have to hold this up aligned at the same time. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do for these first two is I'm just gonna drill it in and then take it out, like directly in. That would explain why it's being weird. That's stripping like crazy. So I'm gonna get a different one out, because in most of these, thankfully, oh, look at all those metal shavings. Thankfully, there's a ton of extras because I'm not drilling it into the wall. That might have been a user error on my part. Yeah, these holes are atrocious. There we go. I only did that so this way it should be easier to just use a screwdriver. Do the same thing for this one. I've always noticed that these smaller screw holes tend to be problematic. As you can see. these screws out because those are now effectively useless. Now I want to see if I can get away with using a screwdriver on it now. Appear to be going in, actually. I think my little trick actually worked. See, if I was drunk, I would have not thought of that. I absolutely would not have thought to do that. Shit, I have to do the same thing like 2 more times after this. Not looking forward to that. I think I'm gonna just get these corners for now. One. See if I can get away with this. Watch that those corners were just the only holes that had problems. That would be kind of funny. Is it going in? It actually is. Holy shit. I feel like these would crack super easily. Sure would. A little anxious about it. Yeah, I don't know how necessary the corner ones are. I think as long as you... I think what I'm gonna do is if any more of these holes fight me, I'm just not gonna screw them in. Also, this is going to be facing the wall anyway, so. Cool. I said I wasn't going to do all of them, but honestly, the more that I'm playing with it, I don't think that one's necessary at all. But, like, I do want it to be secure enough. Bowed for a second there. Shocked this hasn't cracked yet. How thin it is. That's good. Yeah, I don't really think that these would add a whole lot more. Okay, so the first one, my knees are killing me. Alright, so let's just really hope the rest of the holes are better. So I don't feel like power drilling more. That was thoroughly bizarre though. Damn, it's already 11:30. Not sure what this hole's for, considering they're not drilled out. Oh wait, well, these are 2 separate parts. Oh yeah, I forgot this folds out like this. I don't understand why it's like that. Who knows? Oh, probably just so it's easier to. However, what's going to be not easier about it is that there's more weight. However, if I can manage to get that top one in without much. Actually, ooh, that was not supposed to bend that way. Is there even a hole there? There's not. I was really hoping. I was really hoping. Well, there is supposed to be a hole there, but from what I can tell, there's either not or it's not lined up. There is technically, it's just they don't line up with the plywood, so they're not going to be. Yeah. It's a little unfortunate for the structural integrity of this, but it's going to be held by the sides exclusively. That shouldn't be a problem. If that was actually going in, I would be shocked. Is it? It kind of looks like it is. Ain't no way. Yeah, I think it actually is. This is definitely finicky to work with. Mostly because it's so thin. So far, this has actually been the hardest part, oddly enough. Honestly, can't tell how much this is screwing in, because this keeps coming out. These holes are not very straight at all. Yeah, so the back part would definitely deduct some points. Side in more. I was really hoping to not have to power drill more because of my neighbors, but I misread that page. It was like you need 10, no, 26. So I think I did kind of fuck up by stripping some of those screws. However, the screws should be much easier. Yeah, no, there's absolutely no way to screw this. Unless I just drill my own holes with the power drill. But this, I don't... Again, this is facing the wall in terms of, like, aesthetics. I don't think anyone would give a fuck about that. There's only so much I can do anyway, because a lot of these holes are not lined up. very curious if this will screw in. That's what I expected. There's no hole there. It would be really nice if these screws would fit. Mainly because this is where the litter box is. And I would not be thrilled to have shit leaking out of this. How to not get your security deposit back 101. Gonna try this again, because if those ones did, there's gotta be a way. It's just gotta be probably just angled weird. Yeah, there's not enough of a hole on this one to do that. Unfortunately, it's weird though, because I feel like it's pushed in, but that also might just be me drilling the wood. Oh. Never doubt me. Never doubt me, motherfuckers, I got it. Yeah, again, these ones I don't give a fuck about. These are unnecessary. I don't see much of a reason to have those in. But yeah, these bottom ones are really the only ones I actually care about. Metal shards are like giving me like micro cuts. Hope those aren't getting like embedded in my skin or anything. I'll tell you, it does not feel good. Alright, that feels a lot better. Like I said, I really don't want there to be any openings on the bottom. This one's still good. Okay, cool. That one just went right in. Probably just one hand mat. That one's stripped. Hopefully this last one goes on without much fight. I can already tell it is gonna fight. Jinx did not fight me. As far as I'm concerned, the back is done on this. I don't think the rest of these are not essential. So now I think it's door time. Sure seems that way. Okay. another Celsius break, and maybe a water break. That was probably the hardest part of that whole thing. Okay, so we're down to the last couple steps here, from what I can tell. Man, those fucking metal shavings like really did into my skin. Okay. So I think this is essentially the last part, because the little scratch post thing just goes right in on the left, right there. All right. I really hope the cat doesn't just like fucking piss in this. I'm gonna be not thrilled about that if that happens. So we're down to basically the last page here. I think what I'm gathering is, okay, so these parts I just left on, but these are actually supposed to be screwed in. So the doors are the exact same. From what I can tell, the doors are exactly the same. I'll start with I though, just because you'd be surprised how many times with stuff like this, things might look the same, but that does not necessarily mean they are. Alright, four of these hinges. My brain frying out a little bit here. Okay, so 20 of these screws. which are not the same as the ones we used earlier. Hope to God we actually have 20 of them. I am some screws short, actually. Shit. The problem is that all these screws look exactly the same. Like, if I compare these ones, I don't think they're different. They're literally not. They're exactly the same. That's very odd. I am some short, but I think that's only because I actually don't know why I'm short. I have no idea. May end up needing to compromise some screws. It's kind of looking that way. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 13, 14. We are some screws short. I think like we're actually short some. Just not ideal, and I find that rather confusing. But we'll see. Might not be able to put the door handles on. A similar thing happened before. This is one thing I get tripped up on. It's like, so it's like this. I hate the smaller holes on stuff like this. If you could take a wild guess as to why that would be. I actually cannot be having these strip at this point. I needed all of them. I didn't think I did. God damn it, bro. Why can't y'all just, like, engineer these holes properly? Like, genuinely. It is, like, genuinely astonishing. Like, you shouldn't have to, like, drill the wood this much. you motherfucker. Jesus Christ. It's not even in perfect, but I can't physically screw that in more. Yeah, these holes suck ass. So again, you should never need to drill like this. If you had a screwdriver, you would be totally fucked. Give me 1 second. This is getting kind of aggravating. I'm gonna see if I had like a... Alright, that might actually work. I'm gonna try something out. That actually seems to be working. Okay, that actually did work. The screw was stripped, but sometimes the thicker Phillips heads can compensate if you strip it. That's much better. Only problem is we only have one on right now. There's still fucking however many left. However, it did work. I'm glad I thought of that. Back to stripping screws. Here we go. I think I'm finding that for this specifically, using a screwdriver might actually be better. That is rare. It's really just because you can do all these micro movements
and it's a lot better on the screws. Just the reason that I don't really... Sometimes you do really need the power drill to get it threaded. I need the strict screw attachment. There we go. We're mixing screws because, see, those are two different ones. Because it didn't come with enough to not do that. Which I still think is crazy, but, you know. It's just the way it goes a lot of the time with this type of shit. Good Lord, man. Requires so many fucking screws. Okay, so the top part is just the magnet piece. I don't know, man. I kind of want to get the thing assembled first, because, like, if I'm interpreting this correctly, I'm still gonna need. Oh, it's gonna suck. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to use some of the screws to. Right, it's not a perfect fit anyway. So like. Yeah, that's really annoying that there's not enough screws to do all this, because effectively I need 4 more for each, so that's 4, 8, because I have to screw in this. Yeah, this is requiring a lot of thinking here. Which it shouldn't if it had an adequate amount of screws, but evidently it doesn't. The laptop's gonna die soon. I may take a break from this because this is not going as swimmingly anymore. But again, the same thing happened with the entertainment center. Like, once I got to the step of the door, that's when it all kind of... Yeah, I just got a notification on my phone's about to die, so... Genuinely can't tell if that's screwing. Oh, great, this hole is fucking crooked. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it. Basically, it's done. Just needs doors. So,